I was like, whoa, ooh, ouch. John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum is directed by Chad Stahelski, who did all of the John Wick films so far, and co-written by the franchise's creator Derek Kolstad. This sequel takes place immediately after the events of John Wick Chapter 2, where the titular hitman played by Keanu Reeves is declared excommunicado and is now being hunted by every assassin in the world. John Wick is forced to fight to survive without any access or resources that he usually gets from the Continental. I really like the corny opening lines of every installment so far cause it really kickstarts the excitement, including this one. When Winston, the manager of the Continental Hotel, is asked whether he thinks John Wick would survive, he answers, "Well, they have a $14 million bounty on John Wick, and every assassin in the world wants a piece of it. I'd say the odds are pretty even." That's so awesome. So it's no longer a revenge story for a puppy. The role is sort of reversed now. John Wick, the Baba Yaga, the legendary hunter, is now being hunted. The movie really made me feel like John is out of his depth, and threats are literally on every corner, as though every single person on the street is an assassin. The ending of the previous installment really sets up a perfect excuse for the next film to offer loads of action in almost any direction John Wick takes, and that is exactly what we get from this sequel. I am once again very impressed by the fight choreography. It's amazing how after 2 films they still managed to come up with fresh, creative ways to keep the martial arts combat and gun fu interesting, fun, and thrilling to watch. It's like as though this franchise was actually meant to be a video game, and Chapter 3 is actually level 3 where it gets harder and all the equipment inventory are taken away from the player. The film takes us to several different locations and sets for the action, from New York City to Casablanca in Morocco. I particularly like the part where John Wick has to fight a few guys in a place where it's like a museum of ancient weapons, and they just keep breaking the glasses and taking and using every knife, sword and axe on display. The action sequences are bloody, gritty, violent, and brutal. More so than the first 2 films, I think. Definitely bigger and better, even though it's not as stylish as before. When someone gets hit, it's like we can feel the hard impact. When someone gets stabbed and cut, we could actually see it happening in the same shot. I was like, whoa, ooh, ouch. Only one little moment is noticeably censored in Malaysia, but other than that we can see everything and it's crazy. Many Western action flicks shoot their fight scenes close up with plenty of short takes, like this. Some are even shaky till you can't even tell what's happening or who's punching who and how. But in great action thrillers like John Wick 1, 2 and 3, the fight scenes are shot wide and clear, and the takes are longer before they cut to a different angle. Even the gun shooting sequences here show the shooter and the recipient in the same shot. However, the film doesn't feel as realistic as before. There are times in this movie where John Wick seems to be invincible. There's one scene where he gets hit by 2 cars back to back that have intention of killing him, but he survives without even a broken bone. But we can easily look past that because the film maintains its campy, corny, and serious but not really kind of tone. It has a pretty good sense of humor too. Keanu Reeves, awesome performance by him once again. Like the previous 2 films and the Matrix trilogy, it's obvious that he did the fight sequences himself, and maybe even the stunts in the chase scenes. If you haven't seen videos of his target shooting sessions or his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu training, go look for it. He is genuinely skilled with martial arts and firearms. He's the real deal, man. The film's cast includes Mark Dacascos as Zero, the main assassin hunting for John. When I was a kid, I loved him in Only the Strong, and it doesn't seem like he has lost his moves or corniness. And there are glimpses of his capoeira kicks too. Other highlight opponents that John has to face are Yayan Rufian and Cecep Arif Rahman, the Indonesian martial artists and actors who are most known for playing the skillful villains in The Raid 1 and 2. The slower John has to defend himself against these 2 quick silat practitioners. I'm also pleased that the Indonesian actors get to say a few lines in their native tongue. To me, that is just Stahelski showing acknowledgement and respect to these 2 awesome guys. Halle Berry is quite impressive here as well. Her character, Sophia, does not appear in the movie a lot, but she does have some really awesome action scenes, and they are shot in wide angle as well. Sophia also has a pair of fierce dogs that like to bite people's balls off, and her dogs are heavily involved in her action sequences. There are some creative use of animals in this film, and the dogs are treated properly. This John should really teach the other John how to treat the goodest boys. It's obvious that the film had more budget to burn this time, so there are more vehicle chase scenes this time, and one involving a horse ridden by John. I usually find chase scenes in movies boring, but the motorbike one here is quite awesome. If this film had a better plot and storytelling, it could easily be one of the top 10 best action thrillers of all time. In the previous 2 installments, the plot is simple, but this sequel really tries to expand the world building. It definitely has more plot than the last 2 films. Some scenes give us a better understanding of how the Continental works and a deeper background of John, while some felt like fillers for a breather. You know, in case we had too much action. Haha. The ending doesn't make sense to me, but whatever. The John Wick movies are not defined by the plot, it's the fight scenes. Regardless of its issues, I loved this sequel, and I think I like it more than the previous 2 installments. A 4.5 out of 5 is what I give John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum. There is no post-credit or mid-credit scene. Not every movie wants to do a Marvel, but I'm sure at least one of you were wondering, so you're welcome. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. If you have seen the movie, please comment below and let me know what you think. Please give this a thumbs up if you like this review, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.